I'm not going to go too much into this topic because I don't know a lot about it. I've tried to do my, I hate to use that word research because I don't think Googling equals research. I feel like I'm the one being researched on sometimes. I've gone through trying to do a grouping of natural remedies as per the LLMD that I'm seeing. I'm spending a lot of money through this process and in hopes that something will work. So I'm trying to just share along the way everything I've done from diet, which I have other videos that you should check out about some examples of diets that I'm sticking to, and I think that they have worked throughout some time. I say follow those because they might help you sticking to a clean diet. But here I have Alka-Seltzer Gold, and it wasn't the first visit. I want to say it was the fourth or fifth visit that I started taking this, and I think that working with an LLMD is I'm hoping it's the best thing I ever did, and I'll hopefully can say that one day. I'm not there yet, but I believe that's what I want to be able to say, because some of the things have come down, and I don't know if that's just time in the game or if going through the high dosage of 4 different antibiotics and actually I just switched to a new one, which I'm gonna do another video about that once I really see if it's really done anything or what the effects are. But I actually think that maybe I am making some progress, even though it just doesn't seem like much. You can even see in my face. I have this solid line flushing that's gone through. I just switched to a different medication, and anything I'm doing, I could just feel my face burns on fire. I'm not sure what that is. But again, I'm terrible. Maybe that's the Lyme disease, or that's just maybe who I am as a person. But this Alka-Seltzer Gold was something that they said to do, and I would say if you're looking for natural remedies, I think you need a doctor. I think that's first and foremost. But they're going to have you do these things, and maybe not all of them. But my thought is to Alka-Seltzer Gold and water, and this is where you need a doctor to talk to, because looking online after I've been on it for 6 months or so, it's only recently I started looking up a lot of the whys. I tried not to do that. I'm not a fan of sitting down and trying to figure out every single thing. What I like to do is I like to take whatever the doctor tells me without any questions, and then see what the reactions are. When you're desperate to get better, you got to stop, and you got to stop driving yourself crazy and just start doing whatever it is that the best person is telling you that should have an idea as to how to treat you. Finally recently, it's been a while. I know what the feelings are. I know the reactions. I have high blood pressure, and this is loaded with sodium, and I really ignored that. I wish I had the box with me. I don't right now, but it's definitely, I want to say 1,000 or 2,000 milligrams or 500. It's extremely high, where I was on a diet because my high blood pressure of trying to hit 200 to 500 milligrams of sodium. So this was just threw me way offline. And in doing so, it hasn't increased my blood pressure at all. So who knows what's going on? Maybe that's the Lyme infection. Who knows, the heart medication. I really can't understand what's taking place. But this is taking, and I'm only saying those things because I want people to know that if you're on certain medications or doing certain things, if a doctor's telling you to do it, I would say obviously try it, do it, be conscious of what you're doing. I continue to watch my diet very, very, I'm aggressive about my diet, if you will. So maybe that's why it's not going up, because I don't load myself up with McDonald's, which I used to. But so I'm taking something like this that has thousands of milligrams or hundreds of milligrams, whatever it is, higher than it should be. I'm sure you can quick fact find that, and it's not making a difference with my blood pressure. Although you can see my face is swollen and or at least red, and that's not from doing this. But in any case, I take 2 of these a day. You take it with lemon or lime juice. I normally see lemon juice as the key factor here, not the lime juice, and that's for the alkalization and the vitamin C. So, and this is where you have to sit down and decide, or am I going to sit down, am I going to figure out alkalization and go through that, and vitamin C and where I can get it from? And that's what I was starting to do in the beginning. I got away from that. And I just like to say what it does. Those are the two things that it does. And for me, with the joints, I feel like a 90-year-old person. I wake up and sometimes, and it's not like it used to be, I couldn't get out of bed. The pain in the joints was out of control, and it's supposed to, in some way, help out with some of these feelings. Also, and again, I'm sure everybody has their opinions, but because it's all over the board with the Lyme disease, what it could be. Maybe it's not that, but that's what I feel that it is helping towards, your alkalization in your body. I struggle with foods like raw tomatoes. I was starting to eat those too much, trying to eat healthy. I overdo it in like, okay, tomato tastes great. Let me mash it up and grind it, make a fresh garden. I started eating it every day. And, alkalization again, you use that word. And then 6 months later I go, well, I knew when I was eating something that was high in alkaline that it ripped apart my joints. I couldn't move in the morning if I ate these tomatoes, and it took me a while to figure out something so simple. So this is just another, here's a key word that's taken place. I'm not sure what it's exactly doing to the joints and the system. Obviously, if you research it yourself or even ask a doctor, you're not going to get an answer. With this disease, and I'm sure it's similar to other cancerous diseases that you ask questions and they're just giving a guess. Everything to me about this is a guess. And that's why I just try to follow. It seems like they've done the research and certain things, and it's consistent. I had a guy that I know that had Lyme disease back in the 80s, and he picked up a book. It's a Lyme disease book, and it's something that wasn't well known. And I think at some point he stopped. He stopped going to the doctors and believed he really needed to find the answers himself. And he did a lot of research, and he had some answers on things and very few on the new treatments that I'm being given. So I called him up one day and I was talking to him about it. And I mentioned it, and he picked up this book. He blew the dust off of it because he actually been cured. He ended up going to see doctors, and they put him on a drip bag to get him back. And But there's a lot of different things that he did to also watch his diet. He became gluten-free many years later, and I think that's contributed to him being better. But I called him up anyway. I did call him up, and I said it to him, and he pulled out the book and he looked it up, and lo and behold, there it was. It from a book from many, 20 years ago, maybe the book was only 15 years ago. I don't know the exact time frame, but it's from a long time ago, and he couldn't believe it. He's reading through the book, and again, this hasn't been around a long time, and there's not a lot of information, even though we like to say that there's all this great information on the web. With Lyme disease, it seems like a strange, a lot of strange facts that are out there, a lot of guessing, a lot of trial and error, like a bunch of lab rats out there that they're trying to fix because there's not enough research money to really push this through. And I feel that same way for cancer now that I'm struggling through this. So in any case, in calling him up, he goes through the book and he pulls up this page. He goes, no, hold on a second. I actually think I found it. And he was so perplexed by here it was, Alka-Seltzer Gold and lemon juice. So it's been documented for a long time now. So it does work with it. You can dig deeper into it and do some more research. But I take it every day. And anything like this, Panella, I mentioned it in a previous video. Panella, I think it works. Even on this video, I stop, and when I'm stopping, I'm struggling to recall what I'm talking about. And it's such a significant sign of whatever has happened to me it takes place in my daily conversations. And I do a lot of conference calls, and today I'm so excited. I have this headset, and somewhere else I have a second headset. Yeah, here it is. I just burn these up. I'm on the phone for so many hours every single day. There's a third one up at the house because I'm always on the phone talking, and I struggle in conversation, and I have notes. And even before I went to make a phone call, and I took notes as to the first 5 things I was going to say, and keeping myself on topic. So you just have to learn how to, I'm still smart, but I struggle with certain things. So I just need to have things that jolt me back in gear so I can just keep going on with my thought. Because you know, it's with Lyme disease, you lose some of the things that were so natural to you. Some of those abilities of mental clarity. You know, I have tinnitus in ways I can't even explain. I try to tell people the feelings behind it, and it just sounds ridiculous when I say it. And if you don't have it now, it's great. I hope you never get it, but I'm not sure if it's the Lyme disease or what the case may be, but you know, within this past year process, I picked up tinnitus, and it's excruciating. It's terrible. It just feels like somebody's screaming in your ear all the time. You know, stress does make it a little bit worse, but it's not about stress. I can wake up in the middle of the night, you know, first thing I do with my eyes, and I feel like somebody took, you know, these old school, you know, like I can picture the monkey in my head with the old cartoons just slamming on the side of your ears as you're waking up. That's the wake up process every day. You know, in a shower, I've got this shower upstairs that I haven't fixed for some reason, where it makes this squealing noise, and it's, you know, before it would make me nuts, and now it's this very miserable noise that I can't wait to get into that shower. And there's a way to actually make it stop. You can just crank the little thing on the nice little shower headpiece. Just crank it a little and it stops. I actually try to make it louder and just get it to the worst point possible, because it drowns that excruciating noise that I hear endlessly. So that's a tough one for me. So I figured I'd share those couple things with you. You know, in tinnitus, I did it. I dropped my topic again. You know, and tinnitus is something that I use lavender oil. I put it behind the ears, put it over the ears. It's goofy. Doctor said to, or my LLMD said to try to do it, which I do. It's made no difference. It's a continuation of every single morning. I've actually burned through 2 of those bottles, which I'm not really into oils, but if anybody that is or has somebody, friend, wife, whatever it may be, that's a lot of oil that you're, you know, blowing through and putting on your skin. And, you know, it doesn't cause any irritation, but it sure stinks. I'm kind of tired of the smell, but I will not stop doing it. You know, when you have Lyme disease, and if there's any possibility that it's taking down a level from, you know, just a tiny bit, and if I have the fear of stopping, you know, that if I stop doing it, the ringing will get worse. So even though sometimes, like right now, it's not so bad, it's actually okay. The past 3 days have not been so bad, and you know me, I'm up there slathering my ears with the, you know, the lavender oil, and it doesn't, you know, who knows what it's doing, but I continue to try it, and I'm hopeful that it'll work, and I'm going to keep doing it until I feel better. And then when I feel better, I'm going to probably do it every other day, and then every 3 days, and every 4 days, and kind of backtrack off of it very carefully, just to make sure that that it was something that this wasn't helping, or that it was Lyme disease. And you just never know. When you have a chronic illness, and that's what I think this is about, you know, you're on a chronic illness, you're taking all these medications, they're just beating your body down. You know, not that I should be alarmed, I guess, but, you know, the last time I was at the doctor, he said I had a low white blood cell count. You know, it's like, okay, no big deal. It's not that it's a big deal, but if you don't do something about it, anything that's not a big deal becomes a big deal. So it's just something to watch out for. You know, that when doctors say things, don't ever, you know, I don't get crazy about it, but I really take it into consideration, and I do some research, figure out things that can help out with that. You know, exercise more. I hate doing yoga. I feel like I look like a clown. You know, I literally do it. I wear, you know, because I've lost all this weight, I'm freezing all the time. I wear these lined, heavy, thick jeans, and you should. I look ridiculous. I sit up there in the house, and I do the yoga on the floor with my dogs that jump all over. We got these little beagles. They jump on top of you, and I've got these lined jeans on, and I'm stretching and doing these stretches with, like, you know, like these massive pants on. It's just this, you know, strange thoughts, that things that you do when you have something that you're so desperate to get rid of. So that's my thoughts. I figured, you know, I got the video together for you guys. Dropped a piece of paper that I was going to re-show, but it's, you know, Alka-Seltzer Gold. You know, there's different things. Mine is personally two of the tablets that come in the packet. Drop it in. Here, I cut up this goofy bottle and I cut these up. I don't know why, instead of using a glass, because I bring it down to my shop. But basically, you pour in about yay much water and drink it. Tastes awful. Tastes like you're drinking half salt, half lemon garbage. But you know, when you have Lyme disease, who cares? I don't care what it tastes like, or what it is. Even to go on with that, you know, yogurt. I was having some stomach problems. I've got, you know, my tongue's all white now from the bacterial and the antibiotics jumping in. So, you know, yogurt helps to fight that down. And I've got the plain, no sugar yogurt. It tastes disgusting. It tastes terrible. It took me 2 days to get used to it, and I am so excited to eat it. I don't know why. It just literally tastes awful, almost like spoiled rotten milk. There's nothing good about it, but I'm fine with it. I literally adjusted to something that tastes awful, that isn't sweet, plain, no flavor to it. And because I initially pushed through thinking, okay, it doesn't matter. It's about getting better and doing things that help your system out. So you know, that's yet again just another example of whatever it is, you need to do it. If you're on a path of getting better with any sickness, you need to push through and get yourself better and back in line and being good for the people that are around you that need you. So that's it for now. If you like this video, you know, please like it and or check out my other videos. I'm gonna keep making them as I go through this process, and you know, I hope one day not to make these videos. I hope that I can make a final video where I'm better and I'm telling everyone that you know, this is the road I went down, and I'm gonna be specific, and I am documenting it, and I'm trying to be careful on what to say, because I don't you know, I don't want anybody to think that you know, this worked for me and it's going to work for them. And I don't understand why they say that. I don't understand why they say it's so different, that you know, if I find something that worked for me, why couldn't someone else at least try it? Why are we reinventing the wheel? Why not try procedures and protocols and you know, have enough people that are documenting it and say what they did for so long, and at the end of the rainbow, that it's either worked or it didn't work, and let's all follow this path. And you know, maybe that is the path that I'm going down with my doctor. You know, and I want to say one day he's amazing, and right now I don't know. I mean, I think things have lessened up and I've gotten a little better, but I feel, you know, always on edge that tomorrow I could wake up and be completely out of my mind again, and you know, struggle with so many more things that I wasn't. And I'm hoping that he's directing me down the right path, and I'm gonna stick to what he said, because that's what you know, that's the type of person I am, and I'm gonna follow through with it, and hopefully I chose the right path. So again, hopefully you like my video, and take a look at the others. Any comments below? I'm just trying to put this out for people to share my views and my thoughts. It's nothing, you know, it's obviously not concrete, and we can all do our own research and find different information. And as you know, if you've talked to any doctor, you realize that it's just as good as the Google search as to what they tell you. It's about the same. All right, take care.